We come to the end of the book of Revelation, and I want to talk about the 1,000-year reign of Christ. It's mentioned in Revelation chapter 20, verse 2. It says, the angel seized that dragon, that ancient serpent, who is the devil or Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. And what was the effect? He could not deceive the nations anymore. This is a prediction of the triumph of Christianity over the world. Now, I know there are those who are honest Christians, and I'm not going to get into strife over you, for those who believe that this 1,000 years come after Jesus returns. Although, to be fair, the book of Revelation doesn't say that Jesus returned and bound the devil. It simply just says that he was bound. And one reason why I don't believe this 1,000 years is something that comes after Christ returns is because Satan is also released at the end of the 1,000 years to deceive the nations. And that doesn't sound like a very glorious time, because when Christ comes, evil is banished. And yet, in this passage, evil is not banished. It's only bound. It's only restrained. And so I believe that 1,000 years is a symbolic period. Remember Revelation 1:1, the book is in symbols. The angel signified it. That word signify means symbols. So even the 1,000 is a symbolic number. So how do I come up with 1,000? 10 times 10 times 10. And 10 is completed. That's how many fingers we have. It's a completed period. And he's saying there's going to be a long period of the reign of Christianity because Satan has been bound. It's interesting that word bound is mentioned in Matthew 12:29, where Jesus spoke of the cross as binding the strong man. It doesn't mean that Satan can't do things. It just means ultimately the people can come to the Lord if they want to, and Satan can't stop them anymore. Now, he might try to stop them, but victory is ours. So the prediction of the book of Revelation is the triumph of the Christian church. In fact, that's ultimately the message of the book of Revelation, that even though the church seems small and persecuted, a day will come when Babylon will fall, the Roman Empire will fall into the hands of Christians, and that Christianity will spread like wildfire, and that nations that used to be bound by Satan will have the light of life, so that even now today, most nations consider themselves Christian nations. And right now, paganism and polygamy, which was, polytheism, was the dominant faith, but now it's gone. Hardly any nations hold to this idea of many gods. And how was this able to happen? Because of the spread of Christianity. See, I think we haven't realized how Christianity has so pervaded the world and have touched all nations. Jesus predicted that the gospel will be preached as a witness, testimony to all nations. How many? All nations. And then Jesus said the end will come. So this passage is talking about the spread of Christianity to all nations. Now, somebody might say, but Bishop, he talks about the resurrection. That's why I think it's about the second coming of Christ. Yes, verse 3 says, this is the first resurrection. But again, there's a second resurrection. What's our second resurrection? It is the resurrection of the body. Our first resurrection, is it not to be raised from spiritual death? The Bible says we were once dead in transgressions and sins, but he made us alive. So this is talking about a spiritual resurrection because it's called the first resurrection, not the second. So that means the second resurrection, as a Christian, I'm longing for, and that is when my body is resurrected. But I have indeed experienced the first resurrection. So again, he's describing the church that is made alive, the mighty army that's changing the world, touching nations. So ultimately, the book of Revelation's primary message is the prediction of the triumph of Christianity. And today we have seen that with our own eyes. Christianity is by far the world's largest faith. It's the only major faith that is still growing by conversion. Even Islam only grows by births, but they don't grow by conversion. But Christianity is still growing. And this is the prediction. And for those who are skeptical of the Bible and say, well, the Bible, give me some good predictions. The book of Revelation is predicting that even though Christianity is a small group of people, it's going to be the world's largest religion. And it's going to touch all nations. And haven't we seen that? And that's ultimately the prediction of the book of Revelation. Now, if you're a Christian, you think the 1,000 years come after the coming of Christ, God bless you. I'm not going to get into an argument with you, but at least we can agree that Jesus Christ has defeated the devil at the cross and that we can spread the gospel. We can bind Satan and we can bring people to salvation. I hope you've enjoyed my whole series on the book of Revelation. I actually wrote a syllabus called the book of Revelation. It's a commentary of nearly every verse of the book of Revelation. If you want it, come to my website and you can give us a call and let us know you'd like to have it. I love you so much. I'm so glad you've enjoyed the book of Revelation.